What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Astrology Pill. I am Ryan, your astrological physician, and today we're going to be talking about shifting your values, shifting your value, your self-value, and making it last. And so we end this week with the Taurus Full Moon. And Taurus has everything to do about value, self-values, self-worth. And this full moon is falling on October 31st, which is Halloween. And this is significant because this full moon is also conjunct Uranus, exact. And so Uranus is a planet that deals with things that are changing, and change is inevitable with Uranus, you know. And that's why I think this is so fitting, because on Halloween, people feel that this is a good time for them to just change their identities and be who they want to be, that may not necessarily fit into the realm of, reality, or what would be accepted in reality or our realm. Uranus also deals with things that are a little off-center, eccentric, and weird, and a lot of people tend to get weird during Halloween, and so this is really perfect for a Taurus full moon conjunct Uranus. I saw that Drake released a album cover. I don't know if it's his new album cover or whatever, but it was kind of like a sequel to his previous album, Nothing Was the Same, and that's exactly this Taurus full moon, because nothing will be the same, and nothing can be the same. And so I want to mention that we start off this week with Mercury cazimi, and if you don't know what Mercury cazimi is, it's when the sun and Mercury conjunct each other. And so you got the sun, which is illuminating things that can be seen better, and Mercury's the messenger. It's all about communication. So you get this idea of making things clear to understand, and you put it in the sign of Scorpio, which is all about uncovering the secrets and going into the depths of something. And so you put a combination like this in the Scorpio, and you're going to be uncovering some things that you may have tried to keep hidden yourself, but nonetheless, things will be uncovered. Some things will be dug up. The 8th house is also ruled by Scorpio, and the 8th house is all about how people perceive you, how are people valuing you, how you may even be able to receive some type of income from means other than you. And so I think it's a good question to ask: how are you being received? How are your friends perceiving you? How are your coworkers perceiving you? How are you perceived when you walk down the street to the grocery store? How are you being perceived? And is that how you feel you want to be perceived? Is it accurate? But also, you need to look at how you have transformed, because you're not the same person you were a year ago today. I feel that many people have changed in a plethora of different ways. And so we have to ask ourselves, how have we transformed, for the good and for the bad? And what truths have we kept hidden from ourselves? I think this is an awesome time to be true to ourselves and ask ourselves, or be real with ourselves, and trying to figure out what hasn't worked, and where have we been trying to just stuff it under the rug. So I want to challenge everyone to go through your Instagram profile. If you don't have Instagram, Facebook, or go through your photo log, and just see how you've changed over the years. And for those on social media, start to understand how you've been leading people to perceive you, and ask yourself, is this accurate? to how I really am or what I'm really able to do. And in a lot of ways it is, you know. I don't think that we blatantly lie. We just like to put up the highlights, right? But if it's not, and if you think it could be a little bit better or better represented, then figure out how to do that. And so you have Uranus right across the sky, where this full moon will take place on Halloween Day. And Uranus is all about face value. It's exactly what you have. Taurus, where Uranus is sitting right now, rules the voice. The voice is what projects, you know? And so are you projecting yourself the way that you think that you need to be projected? Are you selling yourself the right way? And if not, maybe it's because you're not valuing yourself in a way that would allow you to begin to sell yourself in that way. So again, it's time to reevaluate. Things cannot be the same. What do you have to offer? And what do you have to show for it? You may have a lot to offer. Do you have that nice house, that nice car, these possessions, material possessions that Taurus likes? And what do you have to show for it? Are your friends representative of who you are, what you've done? And is your career representative of what abilities that you have and what you can do? And if not, again, it's time to change, and it's time to go back to the drawing board and figure out how you can begin to create using what you have. Whatever you have gained over the years to make you who you are, to create a more sustainable future for yourself. So there's two key words here with Uranus here, right? You got excitement and changeability. And I'm gonna get to excitement in a second. So changeability, we need to understand that things can change for the better. Things don't always change for the worse. You know, we like to think that if I do things this way, I'll get these results, and if I fail, then ho-hum. But things can also change for the better, you know? And we need to understand that there's a fixed quality about change. You know, if my mood changes and I tell you need to get out of my house, then guess what? That's a very fixed emotion, just because my mood changed. And equally, I can change it back and say, hey, you know what? You can come stay and live here rent-free, you know? So it's like changeability can happen at any moment, and the effects of that is very fixed. And there's excitement, and I think that using this Mercury Cazimi aspect in Scorpio that's getting to the depths of, you know, things that are unseen can allow you to bring it to the surface, where Uranus and Taurus are exhibiting your face value. So where people may not necessarily have known certain things because you've kept them hidden, maybe you go to that depth because it's more clearly understood, and now you can surprise, you know, bring more excitement out to where people didn't necessarily know what you had before. So how do you make it last? Well, we've been working on that over the last so odd years. 3 years for Saturn, many more for Pluto, and Jupiter this year. And just reforming how it is, the structures of our work environment, and what responsibilities that we put on ourselves, and how we're disciplining ourselves. And also recently with Venus and Virgo, helping us to understand exactly what we like, because Virgo is very meticulous, it's very analytical, and it's going to need to understand what it's working towards so that we can begin to create a goal, Jupiter and Capricorn, that we can begin to work towards Saturn and Capricorn. We have to create a slower, more sustainable satisfaction for ourselves, not burnout. And Virgo is very good at not burning out. You know, they rule the 6th house of work, problem solving. And so they're very, they have a lot of stamina, I'll say, as any earth sign would. And so the astrology pill today for this week in the Taurus Full Moon is to do your research. Start to understand the depths of the things that you may keep hidden or you have been untruthful with yourself about, that are in the shadows and in your closet. And begin to do your research to transform these things so that when you get out in public, it makes it easier for you to reveal more excitement in who you really are. At face value, what do people not see that only you can tell them? So I thank you all for tuning in, and I ask that you continue to like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel. And I'll be back next week with another video.